So it's been almost 18 months since I've gone no contact with my parents, and unfortunately, I have had to have some interaction with them at certain family events, but it hasn't involved me engaging with them at all. And it can be kind of awkward, and it's something that has caused me a lot of like guilt and shame because I feel bad and I feel like I'm making everybody else uncomfortable. One thing that I've learned though as I've been healing is that to reaffirm to myself that I didn't choose the pain that I was put through. I didn't do that to me. I'm just responding to that in a way that helps me to be able to heal and have my best life and to not let it continue to cause me pain. And so removing myself from them is the only way that I could do that. But I've had to have interactions with them at birthday parties for my niece and nephew, and like where I've had to see them. And they've tried to approach me, and you know how I handled it? I just said nothing. It's really awkward and it's really stupid, but I'm like, to honor myself, I couldn't play the game. I felt like if I engaged and if I said back and I just tried to fake it and pretend, that was too painful for me. And I wasn't going to sacrifice me again. I needed to honor me and my going no contact. And that did cause, it caused me pain. I still had to like deal with the after effects of that. But I don't think there was anything wrong with doing that, because it hurts me to pretend. It hurts me to fake. And if I were to engage with them, to me, I felt like that was me saying that I was okay with their behavior and it was okay for them to, when I've said no, like I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to choose to live. And the only way that I can do that is without you, because you refuse to just add good to my life. Like I'm just saying, hey, like just be good. Don't give me this huge negative emotional debt every day. I can't do it. And it's because it's like that whole death by 1,000 cuts thing. It's because it has added up little by little, year after year after year after year. And there is so much there that pretending like all of that doesn't exist, that's not me honoring myself if I pretend like it doesn't exist. It's also not the right place to dive into that. And I also know that it wouldn't do any good to dive into it, because I've tried to do that. I had tried to do that so many times. I tried to not have to be away, like to cut them off. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to have a good relationship with them. And they wouldn't let that happen. They refused to just let me have a good relationship with them. And having a good relationship isn't just looking like a good relationship. It isn't just not talking about all the stuff. No, a good relationship requires talking about the stuff. And maybe with a trained professional. But a good relationship requires acknowledging. I can acknowledge that my parents went through a lot of shit too. I can acknowledge that they probably didn't intend to inflict the damage that they caused upon me. I can acknowledge that. But they refused to acknowledge that I was hurting. And I'm like, wait. But I needed to feel bad for me being like, see ya, was causing them so much pain, and they were the victims. And I'm like, wait, no. You want me to acknowledge your pain, but you refuse to ever acknowledge mine? That's not fair. Relationships are a give and take. A relationship isn't one person gets to take all they want, and then who cares if they show up again, especially when it's a freaking parent. So learning to let myself not own that. It being uncomfortable, that wasn't my thing. It being painful, that wasn't my thing. I didn't create the situation that made me have to go no contact with them. That was a natural consequence to their actions of the type of parents that they were to me. how they didn't show up for me. In fact, they actually made me show up for them when I was the child. And I could talk about that shit all day long, but I'm not gonna dive into it right now because I'm actually feeling really good, and I've actually been working through a lot of that, and I don't feel like I need to vent about it, but if I did, I would. So if you feel like that you are someone that feels like they want to go no contact, honor yourself. And if it feels uncomfortable and it feels really confusing, and it is confusing. It's confusing to do that because it's not natural, but it's also not natural to have a parent that doesn't show up for you and take care for you. You look at nature. Mama bears take care of their cubs. Mama bears teach them how to fish. Mother birds give their baby, like they take care of them. They don't make them take care of them. And so when if you grew up like I did, there was this definite role reversal where I was the one that was taking care of my parents' needs. And it doesn't matter if they were just emotional, if it was, whatever things. There can be a lot of different levels for it, and it really doesn't matter. It's not supposed to happen at all. Kids aren't supposed to know about adult issues. Kids aren't supposed to be taking on the issues of your marriage. You're not supposed to be talking to them about that stuff. You can be real with them. You can prepare them for life. But if you're doing it because, like, if you think about them first and you're like, how is this going to affect my child? And you can, like, think, and if you think that through, then you're probably going to be okay, and you're probably not going to cause a lot of damage if you're constantly trying that and you're constantly being like, oh, wait a second, I didn't think that was going to harm them, but actually I think that it did, so I'm not going to do that again. But my parents didn't do stuff like that. My parents didn't care. So, and they still don't. They still don't care about how it impacted me. They only care about how it's still impacting them. And that to me is further evidence that I made the best decision to walk away. And it's not because it was easy, because it wasn't. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, even though they've caused me the most pain in my life. You would think that it would have been easy, but that's not how it works. So either you're somebody that's had to go through this myself, or maybe you're somebody that had a family member do that to somebody else and you don't really know how to feel about it. If you don't understand somebody's actions, and they have chosen to do that, as long as they're not hurting anybody, like if they're protecting themselves and it hurts somebody, but their primary goal is to protect themselves by removing them, like, that's not attacking. Somebody walking away is not attacking. That's clearly them protecting themselves. They're removing them. They're saying, you know what, I matter. My thoughts, feelings, my mental health matters. My emotional well-being matters. And I'm aware that the way that the effect that they have on me, whether it's their energy or whether you can specifically say it or not, it doesn't matter. Their effect on me isn't good for me. That's enough. You don't have to have a law degree. You don't have to have 10 specific facts. You don't have to have the evidence to walk away. So stop trying to convince people that they do, or stop trying to convince yourself that it's not enough, because obviously you feel the pain. The pain is real. It's there. And that's what I wish that I would have told that's what I wish that, like, if I could go back and tell myself something, it would be that. So, yeah.